The Deputy Defence Minister Thabang Makwetla is in Mpumalanga today to assess border security with Mozambique. Now, the community has recently complained about an increase in illegal crossings from both the Eswatini and the Mozambique borders. Our reporter Itekane Magweze is in Mbuzini area and joins us live. A very good afternoon to you, Itekane. Won't you give us a little bit of background as why it's important and what it is that necessitated the visit today?
Well, Tammy, we are at the Nkomazi municipality. The place where we're at is quite revered. It is the Samora Machel Museum. This is where, this is around the area where the late president of Mozambique, his plane crashed and subsequently he passed away. But the significance of having the tourism, both the tourism and the defense deputy ministers come here is because there have been issues that have to do with the border. And as you can imagine, under the lockdown, the regulations state that have been gazetted that no one should be coming into South Africa through the borders without very special allowance to do so. The deputy ministers have been hearing from authorities here in Nkomazi about the challenges that they've been experiencing during the lockdown and in the fight against the spread of coronavirus. Now, I am joined by one of the people who spoke at this briefing here with the ministers, who is the Nkosi Mlambo II. Nkosi, thank you very much for joining us on Newsroom Africa. First and foremost, please tell me about the state of the border lines, the border fences, according to your assessment and view as someone who presides over the community here which borders those two countries.
Well, it started long ago, but as I mentioned that I do have documents where the colonialists set and discussed the establishment of these artificial boundaries. Well, in nature they are artificial because our people, the Masalela clan, were actually divided or demarcated into 3 countries, which 3 countries is Eswatini, Mozambique, and the Republic. Now, that demarcation therefore left some of our lands in either of the countries, as well as people, which people are bona fides of this area and as well, blood relatives of either of the sections. Now, sometimes, it's a long story to tell, but what happened is that the colonialists actually had a device, where they poured water and they would put some substance, into a liquid substance, which they would dictate, black people, these families moving from either of the sides to the other to dip their feet, because the main claim was that the area was surrounded by foot and mouth. Now, in the quest of not stopping the people from coming from either of the sides, then they built, some ladders for the people, to cross and go back, cross that side to the other side and go back. So that practice has happened, time immemorial, some years back. I'm only 28 years, in the office as an incumbent of this clan, and even long before that, this thing has happened, for over 100 years now. So it's actually a challenge that the historical background is now used negatively for a very, very unfortunate situation where people are taking advantage of smuggling. There would be smuggling, illegal things, to either of the countries, especially here in South Africa, those smuggled things from Mozambique to South Africa against our will as the locals and as bona fides of the area. We strongly condemn that, and I would urge that our people abide by the laws of the country, and that they abide, by the disciplines that we expect of them.
Nkosi, I understand from the mayor as well of Nkomazi that the borders are quite weak and there's not enough soldiers and law enforcement to assist. What impact have you seen that that weakness in borders has had for your community, especially in the fight against coronavirus?
Some of the impacts that I would say this would impact, positively, would be for government to recognize, establishment of a border, an official border gate, which border post will be able to shorten the length of the boundary itself, by means that then you are able to control, the other sides, while other people will take on the official gate. Because right now it brings lots of things. It brings rape, because people, would like to go and just cross illegally all over. But if you have a point where you can control them, then it reduces, the task or the act of these people, getting across, illegally.
Thank you very much, Nkosi. That was, of course, Nkosi Mlambo II talking about the positives of having a border post for this borderline. That's, of course, the Eswatini and the Mozambique borderline, Tami.